Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is this video finds you. It's boy Jay here, and the time for title update 4 speculation and maybe even a reveal trailer is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope everyone had a happy holiday and a happy new year. As we approach mid-January, it seems that title update 4 is of course growing closer and closer every day, but now that the holidays are over and the new year is kind of come and gone, and the time for people to kind of get back to work and normalcy will kind of return, it seems that Capcom will probably start working on revealing, talking about, and getting to work on pushing out title update 4. And we kind of already got a little tease of it via an updated roadmap on the site that we will look at here, because the picture kind of has the community buzzing and talking about and speculating about who is going to be the poster child for the next update, right? As you know, in Title Update 1, the face of Title Update 1, so to speak, was Lucid Nargacuga. For Title Update 2, it was Flaming Espinas. For Title Update 3, it was Chaotic Gore. And now, with this new updated roadmap, which we will pull up, people are speculating that the poster boy for this one, or poster girl, whichever you choose, is gonna be perhaps Velkhana. Right, because if you look at this this graphic here, it says we get a powered up monster, and it says we get a returning Elder Dragon, right? So returning Elder Dragon, Velkhana fits the theme. If you kind of look at the silhouette, you can kind of maybe see it, but we all could be misled, and we maybe have no idea what's coming, right? Which would be great. I would love a surprise dropped on us. In fact, I think that's what this patch needs most, and I'm going to get into more detail on that right now. Okay, so looking at this, it says in February, right, which is fastly approaching, we're getting a returning Elder Dragon and a powered up monster. Both of those are singular, right? Not returning Elder Dragons, not powered up monsters. Returning Elder Dragon, powered up monster, okay? So this kind of has me worried a little bit, right? Because the other title updates brought on whole tiers of new monsters to hunt, right? Where title update, they released the entire anomaly investigation system on us, right? So it was like, yo, you had a reason to, even more of a reason, to hunt anomaly monsters, and as your levels grow and grind, right? Title update 2 unlocked another tier of anomaly monsters to hunt, right? Stronger monsters that previously in the game never had an afflicted form. So you got to experience those new monsters, stuff like I think Astalos, Luna Garon, Tigrex, right? Those monsters prior to title update 2 did not have anomaly forms, right? So they got unlocked. A whole new tier of anomaly monsters, which was like 6 to 8 monsters showed up that you can hunt. Great, that's a lot of new stuff to hunt, including the new monsters, right? So you got new monsters that aren't in the game and a whole tier of new monsters to fight. And this is, the pattern was repeated in title update 3. We kind of got the highest tier, the last tier. I mean, we got Furious Rajang, Seething Basil Goose, Gold and Silver Wraths, right? As afflicted monsters, right? Super high level threats, right? So that as a whole tier showed up, along with, Flaming SB along with Chaotic Gore and Risen Teo and Kush, right? So a whole tier of monsters and new monsters that have never been in the game. So this brings me to my next point. The last remaining monsters in the game that don't have an afflicted form are Violet Mizitsune, Lucid Nargacuga, and Chaotic Gore Magala. I think those are the only 3 regular monsters that aren't Elder Dragons that don't have an anomaly form, right? So, I mean, looking at Violet Mizitsune and Lucid Nargacuga, they're kind of tied to their locales a little bit, right? Being the Forlorn Arena, you gotta hunt it during the nighttime because it uses the moonlight to go invisible, in the case of Lucid Nargacuga. And then Violet Mizitsune, I suppose you can bring Violet Mizitsune to a couple other locales. You probably could see it in the volcano and some of the watery areas, but I don't know, it just seemed very dependent upon the arena that we fight it in. Like, this is where we fight Violet Mizutsune. So it's kind of hard to imagine that we're just going to get the Afflicted version that could just appear anywhere, right? For those two monsters. Now, like, Chaotic Gore, I think it could get an Afflicted. I think that makes sense. But, I don't know, having a whole new tier of just 3 monsters kind of doesn't make sense, in my opinion, you know? And then if, you know, Title Update 4 is bringing 1 monster, but it's an Elder Dragon, and Elder Dragons get risen, they don't get Afflicted. So, we're not going to have a whole new tier of things to fight in this patch. So if we're only gonna get, you know, the returning Elder Dragon and the powered up monster, which is probably gonna be Shigaru or Valstrax, right? We're only gonna get 2 new monsters to fight and not a whole new tier of things to fight. Now the anomaly levels are probably gonna go up, right? I mean, every patch they go up, so we'll probably go to maybe 250 or 300, right? Which is cool, but we'll still be fighting the same monsters. There won't be new anomaly threats. So this patch could only bring 2 monsters. Boom, that's it, right? Like, oh, huh, right? And maybe an expansion to the curious weapon crafting, right? We'll get more slots unlocked as we get new materials that we can grab, because we'll have, you know, level 200 plus monsters that we'll be able to fight. So unless this patch has a surprise in it, right? Which is something I have been talking about all the way back since Title Update 1. Hell, since before Sunbreak's release. I want a surprise in the patch. A monster that just shows up. It's not on any of the promo material. There's no trailers on it. Just, boom, dropped on us. If a surprise comes with Title Update 4, that would be great. But if not, I don't know, man. Title Update 4 might be the leanest of the title updates so far, because I don't think there's going to be another tier of new anomaly monsters to fight, right? So hopefully that's what I really want out of Title Update 4. You know, Capcom has been telling us everything about these updates up to this point, including Sunbreak. I mean, there were only like 2 secret monsters, and even then, they weren't really secrets, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I want a surprise. I want them to pull a Basil Goose on us. Remember Base Rise, when we got that first title update, and they just kind of threw Basil Goose in there, and you were like, hey, hold up, Basil's in the game now? They didn't tell us, they didn't show us in any promo material. He just pulled up and started exploding on us. That was such a good moment. That was so great. I really enjoyed that, and I want to see that again, so that, you know, the community is a buzz with like, yo, look who's here, and we kind of gotta keep a secret and spoiler-free thumbnails and all that. Like, yo, that was dope. That was hype. So I'm hoping that happens again. Otherwise, Title Update 4 might be the leanest and might have the least new material for us to come back and, you know, enjoy, which would be kind of sad this late in the game's life, you know what I mean? Unless, you know, a monster shows up, or one of the returning monsters or powered up monsters has kind of an RNG, maybe siege mechanic, maybe they bring back rampage weapons in a master rank way, so that there's stuff that we can keep going, right? Because if they drop a Safi'jiiva tier monster, right, where Safi'jiiva has a billion weapons you can have, and you can run it over and over again, unless we have something like that in Title Update 4, it's looking like it's going to be a real lean update, and I'm not sure how the community is going to react to it. So, you know, that's just what I wanted to talk about today. You know, it's looking really lean, kind of worried. I'm hoping there's a surprise in the patch. I'm gonna enjoy it regardless. I know that. I know I'm gonna enjoy it. It is what it is. I'm a Monster Hunter simp, and we're gonna cover it heavily in depth. And of course, we're gonna head in the lab, and we're gonna make all sorts of cool, you know, builds and armor sets of all the stuff that show up. Like, that's what we're gonna do here. So definitely make sure you subscribe if you like Monster Hunter content. But yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about how I'm feeling heading into Title Update 4, and I'm a little worried. I hope there's a surprise in this patch for us. But as always, hunters, happy hunting. Peace.